Wednesday, March 30. While we were yet sinners. Question. What do the following texts say about human nature? And what powerful evidence do we have about the truth of these sentiments? As has been stated, but is worth repeating, the Bible does not paint a rosy picture of humanity or human nature. From the fall in Eden in Genesis chapter 3 to the fall of Babylon in the last days in Revelation chapter 18, the sad state of humanity is readily apparent. And though we tend to idealize, for instance, the early days of the church before the great falling away recorded in 2 Thessalonians 2:3, that is a mistake. See 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 1. We're all fallen, broken people, and that includes the lineage out of which Jesus himself arose. The Zondervan Illustrated Bible Backgrounds commentary of Matthew has Michael Wilkins saying, "The genuineness and unlikeliness of this genealogy must have stunned Matthew's readers. Jesus' ancestors were humans with all the foibles, yet potentials of everyday people. God worked through them to bring about his salvation. There is no pattern of righteousness in the lineage of Jesus. We find adulterers, harlots, heroes, and Gentiles. Wicked Rehoboam was the father of wicked Abijah, who was the father of good King Asa. Asa was the father of the good King Jehoshaphat, who was the father of wicked King Joram. God was working through the generations, both good and evil, to bring about his purposes. Matthew shows that God can use anyone, however marginalized or despised, to bring about his purposes. These are the very types of people Jesus came to save." End of quote. That's the point we need to remember, not just when we look at others, but when we look at ourselves as well. What Christian at some point in his or her walk doesn't get discouraged, doesn't question his or her faith, doesn't wonder whether or not he or she is truly converted? So often, too, what brings about this discouragement is indeed our fallen nature, our sins, our shortcomings. Thus, amid this despair, we can and should draw hope that God knows all these things, and it was for people just like us that Christ came into this world. And so to finish today, what Bible promises can you cling to in moments of discouragement and spiritual despair?